Okay, so this is a quick tip as a follow-up to a question that we had in the comments in one of the other videos. How do you animate a color grade over time? So how do you change a color grade in the same clip? So the example that was given is here we got the Harry Potter Order of the Phoenix scene, and you can see we've got a color grade that kind of has a nice warm look to it. And Dudley's here being a jerk. We skip ahead, and we see the Dementors start to show up, and the grade changes slowly. Fades into a blue, really cold look. So how do you do that kind of thing inside of Davinci Resolve? How do you animate a color grade over time? So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. So here we are inside of Davinci Resolve, and we've got a grade already going through this shot here. If you're unfamiliar with how to grade inside of Davinci Resolve, go ahead and check out this tutorial right here, and this will show you all the things you need to know about coloring inside of Resolve. But say we've already got a grade set up here, and you can see that I'm passing a grade using a layer mixer. So I'm protecting the skin tones here, and most of the grade work of the coloring is going on up in here, right? And so say we wanted this to change over time from this sort of warm grade into a cool grade. Okay, so you're going to use keyframes. Okay, this is what you're going to use to animate settings inside of Davinci Resolve. So you'll see that they're labeled down here. We've got corrector 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the layer mixer. All the nodes actually appear up here in this window are down here as well. So corrector 3 is labeled here, and this is the node that I used before to do most of the general color shifting, so making everything look warmer. This is the one I use to balance my blacks, okay, and this is the one I use to protect my skin tones, okay. So if I wanted to change the grade, here's what I would do. I'd first go to corrector number 3, and then I'd want to find this down here. So here's corrector number 3. Now, when I hit this little triangle button, this is a little keyframe button. When I hit this, this corrector becomes activated to make changes, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrub around in here. I can zoom in and out to see more and less of my clip or my timeline. And so let's say I'm scrubbing along here, and about right here I want it to change from this warm look and start moving into a cooler look, right? So you can actually toggle down this area here, and this will show you all the different settings that are going on inside of that node. So if you had windows or power curves or gradients or qualifiers, all these different keyframes will apply to these different effects. So let me kind of show you what I mean here. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to activate one of the keyframes. So I'm just going to move one of these kind of a little subtly here, and you'll see that it'll drop a keyframe. Okay, so it recognizes that something happened there, and so everything that we have going on in our look is recorded with that keyframe. Now if I move forward ahead in time and maybe move to about right here, and then I change these things, so I start to push the shadows into a bluer tone, and maybe I kind of push some of the highlights into a bluer tone. You can see now there's two keyframes, and there's this little image here that shows that these things change over time. These are dynamic. So if I slide in between these, you'll see now at the beginning it's a warm look, and then as I get down further to the end, it's a cooler look. Okay, and that's just simply with this node right here. Okay, so corrector number 3. Now maybe I also wanted to change the key that I had going on inside of this mixer layer on the bottom. So I could zoom in here. I'm going to line back up here with my keyframe there. And so this is corrector number 3. Corrector number 7 is where I've got the key going on. And so here's corrector number 7 here. So what I'm saying is maybe I'm protecting a certain amount of skin tones here, but as I go further down, maybe I want to do less of that, and I want more of the grade to show through. Or maybe I want to protect it more, right? And it depends on what kind of look I'm going for. So for example, if I take the key here and I change the gain to 0.3, you'll see he turns bluer. Or if I change the gain to 0.7, now you've got more of that protection going on, and more of his skin tones are showing through. So if I want to animate that, I'll go back to 0.5. Let's go up here, and then this was corrector number 7. So I'm going to go to corrector number 7, turn on the keyframes. Let me put this. I'm going to put this back to 0.5. Now I've got a keyframe there. Now if I move down further to where that animation ends, and I change this to 0.07. Now you'll see that animate across. Okay, so let's go ahead and just play that little section there. Okay, so you can see it subtly kind of start to change into a different look. Okay, and so that's how you really would do it with all of the other correctors. If you had more of a complex grade going on, you needed multiple things to change and to tweak. Same idea goes for everything else. You can go and find that corrector. You can toggle down the different features in there that you want to animate, and then you just create those dynamic keyframes, and then it'll animate that grade across the clip. Okay, so hopefully that's kind of what you're looking for. If you still have some more questions, please hit me up in the comments, and I'll try to get that stuff made out for you guys. Okay, have a good one, guys. We'll see you later.